I'm Mayor Tim Lowry, and welcome to another edition of the Mayor's Minute. With me today is a very special guest and a very good friend of mine, Tony Maldonado, who is the chairman of the Board of Hispanic Leaders Group of Greater St. Louis and a longtime resident of the city of Florissant, who continues to do many great things for our community. Tony, welcome. It's great to see you again today.
Thank you, Mayor.
Last Friday, County Executive Sam Page rescinded the county health order and requiring mask and social distancing. The new CDC guidelines were announced last Thursday, which allows fully vaccinated Americans to stop wearing masks indoors in most settings. The new rules will help clear the ways for reopening workplaces, schools, and other venues. It also removes the need of social distancing for those who are fully vaccinated. If you are not vaccinated, then experts recommend that you still wear a mask indoors and in crowded outdoor places. People who have not been vaccinated should also continue to practice social distancing. So that is why it is so very important that we continue to host vaccine events and get the word out to those that have not been vaccinated to get vaccinated. So this past Saturday, our city and the Hispanic Leaders Group partnered with Delwood Pharmacy and held a vaccination event at the JFK Center. Tell me how it went, Tony. How did things go there with the vaccination event?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mayor, for inviting me to sit with you the few minutes. That event was very well attended. Some of the takeaway was the fact that we had just gotten the word Thursday before from the CDC and the FDA approving vaccines for children 12 and above. And that kind of added a little bit to our planning. But Delwood Pharmacy did a great job in adjusting to that. We had over 175 people come to get vaccinated. Out of those 175, we had 45, let's say teenagers, right?
Wow.
Young people that came in to get vaccinated. One of the things that Ms. Rebecca from Delwood Pharmacy noticed, the closeness in the family units when the kids came along. They showed some sense of loving and some sense of community. She picked up on that right away, and it was pleasantly surprised that that was a little caveat for the event. So basically, when people came in, we had some pre-registration and some walk-ins, and we were able to get them to fill out the consent forms very quickly. We were able to get them to the vaccination table. They got their shots. Then they moved over to the standard waiting zone, right, where you wait to see if there's any symptoms come up.
15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. But because of some of the other collaborators we had, like Show Me Hope, St. Louis County giveaways, like some of the masks that were given away to people that came in. We had these packs of masks on the table laid out so people can take as many as they need for their families. And then we also had some hand sanitizer that became the very this giveaway made the waiting area the fun zone.
Okay, very good.
So there was a lot of jokes about the bottle and,
Sure.
and who made it, and I explained, of course, that this was a gift from a distillery company when the federal government had asked manufacturers to step up with PPEs.
Yes.
So this distillery company, Faber, did this last year, and they distribute throughout the United States. It got to Athenia Healthcare, and then Athenia Healthcare gave me 40 cases for me to distribute in the Hispanic community, and I did. I got rid of 30 cases within 2 days, and I saved some for the Florissant Saturday event and for this Saturday's event again.
Well, that's
I
things.
have some of these.
We have another event coming up this Saturday. Let's talk about that again.
Well, this Saturday we're partnering up with the City of Florissant and St. Louis County Department of Public Health, and they're doing the Pfizer vaccine from 10 to 3 or 4, depending on how the crowd is. And we're going to, again, have the fun zone. We'll have some resource table with giveaways. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is a collaborator. They came in khakis and in a polo shirt, and they gave away hundreds of T-shirts. I wish I would have brought one. hundreds of T-shirts with no printing on them, so that when you take them home, if you want to tie-dye them or if you want to get them something printed on, you can. And that is part of their community outreach initiative and recruitment.
Sure. Well, we certainly appreciate them being there also. That's so important.
Oh, it was so much fun. Like I said, we turned this area into a fun zone. And of course, I'm not shy when I get an
No, you
audience.
never have been.
When I have an audience, I had a captured audience, so I was able to talk a little bit about Florissant and the things that we're doing. Show Me Hope had other services that some of the people, anonymously will call them and, get some of the services that they provide.
Well, that's the one thing is that you and I have been talking about this for several months, and I know that you've worked very hard to get some people in here to do the vaccination. So I really do appreciate that you doing that and all the effort that you put in to make sure that we had a vaccination event here in the city of Florissant. And of course, we both know how important it is to get all of our people vaccinated. I still think we are still less than half of our citizens that have not gotten they have been vaccinated, and we got to get everybody vaccinated.
Yes, it's important for me. I can pull the kind of census data and data from, very different agencies, but the real data that we want is to have people vaccinated and save lives. We need the children to get back to school safely. We need to get them vaccinated so they can get to their schools, their middle schools and high schools. Florissant has great amenities, and we want people back in the swimming pool. We want people to use the gym and play basketball, and we want the weight rooms to get full again. We want all the amenities, the playgrounds, everything open. I mean, we have beautiful parks, we have beautiful community centers. I mean, we're a
wonderful
jewel.
community.
We
really
are a jewel. Florissant is a jewel, and we want to make sure that everybody knows. When I first started with the St. Louis County Stakeholders Committee, I was kind of like a late add-on to that committee to represent the Hispanic community. I looked at some of the geographics in our North County area and looked at some of the numbers, and I was so shocked that less than 4% of people in North County were registered. This is talking in January when I started looking. They were registered to get tested or even vaccinated. So I'm hoping that with the effort the county has done and the stakeholders, the faith community, myself, yourself, the mayors, that we have this out there, right? That people are not scared to take the vaccine. There is no chip in the vaccine to follow you. There were so many things that social media did to curtail people flowing in and getting vaccinated.
And let's keep in mind, too, is that the highest number of cases in the St. Louis area were here in North St. Louis County.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's data. I mean, so that, and then we've got to get more people up here vaccinated. And then, of course, our concern is that I'm glad that things have opened back up. I'm glad the CDC has changed their guidelines. But I think we still have to remember that it's still a threat, and that we need to get everybody vaccinated to make sure that we can continue not to have to wear a mask, that we can continue to keep our centers open, and that we don't ever have to close again. And if people fail to get vaccinated, then what the CDC has just done, it could actually hurt our communities again. And I really appreciate what they've done. And I'm glad I don't have to wear a mask anymore. I'm glad I can go walk in the store without a mask on.
Right.
But we have to all get vaccinated.
Well, there was pressure to open up, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, we have to be responsible, take self-responsibility, and make sure that we take on the responsibility of wearing the mask, washing hands, keeping some social distance still, and getting vaccinated so that we can get to a point where we were pre-COVID. One of the things that helped was that when we started getting the availability of more vaccines, the need for mass vaccinations kind of gave way to community clinics or community pop-ups, because mass vaccination meant that a lot of people would have to take out 4 to 5 to 6 hours to go get vaccinated somewhere, right?
Right.
And now the vaccines are coming to our community. So again, we have to take the responsibility of going to these pop-ups or these community clinics and get vaccinated. 30 minutes was the time, the shortest time we had, and 45 minutes was the longest time we had Saturday.
So let's talk about this Saturday. So this Saturday, JFK Center again.
Yes.
From 10 to 3, possibly 4 o'clock if needed.
Yes.
They'll stay there as long as they have to make sure that if people are still in line, they're still going to get served.
Yes.
Now, is this a pre-registration or is it both? Registration and we're accepting walk-ups?
It's registration, stlcorona.com,
Okay.
and walk-ups.
Okay.
There are some people that, because of language, they're having problems with the phone systems and the pre-registration. So we opened up to walk-ups, and that is the best way. And also, if you have teenagers at home, bring them along. They're not going to like it at first, maybe, but once they get there, we'll get them in the fun zone. They're going to love it.
Good. So do you have any idea how many vaccines will be available that day?
I was told 300.
300. Okay, very good. So you said they're going to be the Pfizer. So when is the second? When is the second shot? And where are we doing that event at?
So the second shot would be June 12th, and that event will be at the same location, the JFK Community Center. We just want to make sure people are consistent with where they're going. It makes it a lot more convenient. So again, the June 12th at JFK Community Center.
Very good. Well, Tony, once again, the one thing I really want to say, and this is really sincere, is that I really do appreciate everything that you do for the city of Florissant. And I know that your heart's definitely here.
Yeah.
I know that when you guys landed here some 30 plus years ago, it wasn't necessarily where you were going to stay, but you certainly made this home.
Yes, I did. Well, Florissant opened up its arms. They say you make your best friends in high school or freshman, sophomore in college. I made my best friends at Our Lady of Fatima. I made my best friend at the theater at the Civic Center with Alfred Hawthorne when I used to be in the early days, the Priest Play. And I just made some great people here in Florissant, and I was taken back. And when I moved here, I didn't have any family members that attracted me to the city or to Florissant. But it didn't take long for people to embrace me, and I just loved it. Just loved it.
Well, I can tell you this. I certainly appreciate your friendship, and I know that my family does, and certainly my father who's passed. I mean, he always appreciated the friendship, yes. So this concludes another edition of the Mayor's Minute. Don't forget, Saturday, May 22nd from 10 to 3 at the JFK Center located at 315 Hodder for the next vaccine event. If you've not registered, you can go to www.stlcorona.com or call 877-435-8411. Thank you again, and we are Florissant Strong.